Shriram Shri Guru Shri Utapata Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha Hare Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Shivadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivshesha Shunyavadi Paschatpadestarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so before I start with the first verse, I would just like to say that the following verses will be a conversation between Mother Earth in the form of a cow and Dharma in the form of a bull. And Dharma only has one leg left, and I'll just show you a little visual. So I have this notebook here from my Bhakti Shastri. So here we have Dharma, and his four legs are made out of four pillars, and those are the four regulative principles that we as devotees follow. And at this time, he's only standing on one, so these three are gone because Kali has arrived. So let's start. Brahmadhaya bahutitham yadapanga moksha Kamastapah smaracharana bhagavat prapanaha Sa Shri Svavasamaravindavanam vihaya Yatpada saubhagamalam bhajate nirukta Tasyaham abjakulishankusha ketu kete Srimad Padher Bhagavata Samalankritangi Dinatyarocha upalabhya tato vibhutim Lokan samamvya jad utsmayatim tad ante. Anyone would like to?
Brahmadayo bahutitam yad apanga moksha Kamasatapaha samacharan bhagavat prapannaha Sa Shri Svavasam Aravindavam vihaya Yatpada saubhagam alam bhajate norturakta
Tasyaham abjakulishankushaha ketu ketaha Srimad Padher Bhagavata Samalam Kritannahi Atya rocha upalabhya tato vibhutim Lokan samama yes rajad utsamaitam tad ante.
Brahmadayo bahutitham yadapanga moksha Kamastapa samacharan bhagavat prapannaha Sa Shri Svavasam Aravindavanam vihaya Yatpadassobham Alampajate nurakta
Tasyaham abja kulisham kushaketu ketei समलंकृताङ्गी त्रिम् अत्यरोच उपलभ्य ततो विभूतिं लोकान् समां व्यसृजत् उत्स्मयतिं तदन्ते.
Translation. Lakshmi Ji, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers and engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. I was endowed with the specific powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems by being decorated with the impressions of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant driving rod, and lotus flower, which are the signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me. Report. The beauty and opulence of the world can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord, and not by any man-made planning. When the Lord Sri Krishna was present on this earth, the impressions of the special sign of his lotus feet were stamped on the dust, and as a result of the specific grace, the whole earth was made as perfect as possible. In other words, the rivers, the seas, the forests, the hills, and the mines, which are supplying agents for the world, for the necessities of men and animals, were fully discharging their respective duties. Therefore, the riches of the world surpassed all the riches of all the other planets in the three planetary systems of the universe. One should therefore ask that the grace of the Lord always be present on earth, so that we may be favored with his causeless mercy and happy, having all necessities of life. One may ask how we can detain the Supreme Lord on this earth after his mission is fulfilled, and he has left this earth for his own abode. The answer is that there is no need to detain the Lord. The Lord, being omnipresent, can be present with us if we want him at all. By his omnipresence, he can always be with us if we are attached to his devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. So, some of the learnings I got from this paragraph were that, you see, they were saying in this verse that, oh, the Lord left me. He was here with me, but now he left me. He was walking on this earth with his lotus feet, but he left me. But in reality, Srila Prabhupada here is saying that Krishna never really left us. He's always here. He's everywhere. He's in the deities. He's in the Harinam. He's in every atom. He's always with us. And devotees are the only ones who can see that. He's in everyone, actually. So devotees are the only ones who can actually see this, because we have seen the spiritual. We have the spiritual lens on, and we can see that Krishna is everywhere. Some people say, "Oh, I can't see God, so he must not be there." Well, if you turn off the light in a room full of people, you won't know that the people are there. I mean, you might get signs that they're there, like you might hear them talking, you might hear them walking or something. But in order to really see them, you need to turn that light switch on so that you'll see them. So similarly, for Krishna, we might be like in a room, let's say, and Krishna, he's there, but he might give us some, like, you know how Krishna, he performs little leelas, so maybe when you're dressing up the deities, maybe the water spills or something. So like little cute little gestures so that he's there. But then when you put on a spiritual lens or the light, then you actually see, wow, he's right there with me. So so that's what I took from this paragraph, that although he never left this planet. He's always with us. He's here with us right now. He's everywhere. So, yeah. There is nothing in the world with which the Lord is disconnected. The only thing we must learn is to excavate the source of connection and thus be linked with him by offensive service. So I just like to stop here really quickly. By offensive service. So I would like to say that service is a very important thing. I mean, honestly, service, it makes you peaceful. It like helps make your whole body peaceful, and it's just so amazing to serve. And there's many like ways to serve. There's deity worship. There's cleaning the temple. And maybe you aren't interested in that, then you can read Srimad Bhagavatam. Chanting is also a service. So actually, in this paragraph, he'll also talk furthermore about Harinam. So we can be connected with him by transcendental sound representation of the Lord. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical, and one who chants the holy name of the Lord in an offenseless manner can at once realize that the Lord is present before him. Even by the vibration of radio sound, we can partially realize sound relativity, and by resounding the sound of transcendence, we can verily feel the presence of the Lord. In this age, when everything is polluted by the contamination of Kali, it is instructed in these scriptures and preached by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can at once be free from contamination and gradually rise to the status of transcendence and go back to Godhead. The offenseless chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious as the Lord himself, and the movement of pure devotees of the Lord all over the world can at once change the troublesome face of the world. Only by the propagation of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord can we be immune from all the effects of age of Kali. So this is a very important paragraph because it talks about how the Harinam can help us go through this age of Kali, because age of Kali, as you know, it's full of Maya, and by chanting this holy name, we can stay away from Maya and we can focus on Krishna. Harinam, it says, it's actually the easiest service for Krishna. All you have to chant is the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. In the next row of instruction, there is a verse, Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya, Vido Patthakta Rashanasya Narochakanu, Kintvadharad Anudant Karuse Vajusta, Swadvikraman Bhavati Tadgadamulahanti. So, in this verse, it is giving an analogy of jaundice and the Maya. So basically, the analogy is that when a person who is affected by jaundice cannot, when they eat anything, it's very sour. But that's why they need to but if they keep eating something sweet, then slowly they'll start gaining the sweetness, or they'll start tasting the sweetness of the either whatever they're eating. So similarly, a person who is affected by like Maya of the age of Kali, if they keep chanting this holy name, 108 times, 1 mala, 2 mala, 3 mala, 4 mala, then they will be able to get rid of this Maya that has affected their whole body and their soul, and they'll be able to taste the sweetness of Bhakti and the Harinam. So yeah. Next verse. Okay. Yo ve mamati bharamasura vamsharakyam ashawina shatam abanudad atmatantraha tvam dustam unapadham atmani parusena Sampadhayan yadusho ramyanabhibrad angam.
Yo vamamati bharam asura vamsaragyam akshauhini satam shatam apanodad atma tantaraha tvam unapadam atmani parushena Sampadayan yadushuranyam abhirat angam
Yoge mamati bharam asura vamsharantam akshoni satam apanudad atmatantra tvamatustam unapadam atmani purushena Sampadayan yadusuram yan abhivrahadangam.
Yo vai mamati bharama suravam sharajnam akshohini shatam apanu dadatmatantraha tvam dushtatam unapadamaatmani paurushena sampadayan yadashuram yam abhivrit Angam.
Yo vai mamati bharam asuravam sharanyam akshau hini shatam apanudad atmatantra tvam दुष्टं पूर्णपदम् आत्मनि पौरुषेण सम्पादयन् यदुशिरम्यम् अबिभ्रत् अङ्गम्.
Translation. O personality of religion, I was greatly overburdened by the undue military phalanxes arranged by atheistic kings, and I was relieved by the grace of the personality of Godhead. Similarly, you were also in distressed condition, weakened to your standing strength, and thus he also incarnated by his internal energy in the family of the Yadus to relieve you. Purport. The Asuras want to enjoy a life of sense gratification, even at the cost of others' happiness. In order to fulfill this ambition, the Asuras, especially atheistic kings or state executive heads, try to equip themselves with all kinds of deadly weapons to bring about a war in a peaceful society. They have no ambition other than personal aggrandizement, and thus Mother Earth feels overburdened by such undue increases of military strength. By increase of the Asuric population, those who follow the principles of religion become unhappy, especially the devotees or devas. In such a situation, the personality of Godhead incarnates to vanquish the unwanted asuras and to re-establish the true principles of religion. This was the mission of Lord Sri Krishna, and he fulfilled it. So, some thoughts about this verse. It talks about how the demons or asuras, they, by their actions, by their non-religious actions, they disrupt, they destruct the peace of earth and peace of Vaishnavas. I would like to show from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 15. Namam duskriti no mudha prapadyante naradhamaha mayaya parita jnana asuram bhavam asrita. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. So there are 4 types of people who derive from Krishna, and it's said in the Bhagavad Gita. So they're the grossly foolish, the mudha. These are the people who work so hard for mundane things, such as like the workaholic, if you can say. Like the workaholic, they work so hard. They'll work, even sometimes they'll work 7 days a week just for money. Or like just to buy some, I don't know, nice car, nice phone, nice house. But they work so much, they're foolish. We can also use this example of a donkey. A donkey, they'll have a carrot attached to them, and they'll only go for that one carrot, even though there are fields of grass everywhere, but they'll go for that one carrot. When they move forward, the carrot would move forward though. So these are the grossly foolish. The next are the lowest among mankind, Naradhama. So these are in the olden times, it would be like the very actual demons, like the monsters. Of course, you won't go outside your house and see a 10-foot tall, one-eyed monster, but those weren't there at the time. But I will talk about present-day demons. So, knowledge is stolen by illusion, Maya Bahita Jnana. So these are the scientists who are like Big Bang Theory. We are made from chemicals. We are made from all this. Honestly, I was at school and I couldn't understand a thing. It made absolutely no sense how we are made from just chemicals. I don't know, it makes no sense. But anyways, so these are like the scientists who are affected by these theories whatsoever. Okay, and then the atheistic demon, the asura. So these are the atheistic, those who don't believe in God, who believe, I am God, or there's no God. So yeah. So, like I said, you won't see like a monster looking like this outside. Not anymore. But there are modern day demons. So first of all, for example, we all know, he's dead, but we all know Hitler. He was a demon in this world because he forced forced aggression towards Jews. He was against Jews for whatever reason. And we're actually reading a book about the Holocaust, and what I thought was pretty interesting was he only, with his own hands, he only killed one person, and you know who that was? Himself. That's the only person he ever killed with his own hands. How he killed all these Jews, how he murdered all these Jews, was with the power of words. These words of his, he told people, he convinced people that, oh, these people are bad, these people are not good, we should get rid of them. And people followed him, and those people were the ones committing the murders. So you can see how this age of Kali has really affected us by these types of examples. These types of examples. How just by convincing someone, someone can do something so horrible, terrible. Another example of a demon in this world are people who have slaughterhouses. They have no compassion. Like one of the legs of dharma is compassion. They have no compassion. They don't really care, I would say. I mean, they don't care that these cows, these pigs, these chickens, they're just having the most cruel death. They just have these slaughterhouses so they can earn money. So you can actually say it's more like workaholic and lowest among mankind. It's like a mixture of both. So they're committing so many sins. They are encouraging others to eat meat. And so it's just really disturbing and like one of these modern day, demons. Another type of modern day demon, I would say, are like murderers, kidnappers. They are, crazy. They're going to other people, they're murdering. And they don't know. They probably do, but they're getting so much sin by just killing others. So these type of people, their actions really disturb the peace of us. And just imagine Mother Earth, she has to deal with all of this. And not only are people demons, the things that we created are also, such as factories. Factories, the pollution, it hurts the earth. And people know this. Like, there's so many scientists who are saying global warming, climate change. Now, do you think these multi-millionaire people care? No, they just want money. They don't care that, oh, you guys might not be able to survive in the future because of these factories you're creating, because of the pollution from these factories. So, it's kind of funny. Like, they don't care that they could die because of all this pollution. They're just, creating more. And then Mother Earth has to suffer from all the littering, all the pollution, all the trash falling into the ocean. Also, another thing that humans create that's a big demonic, or like a demon, you could say, is war. We create war. It's unnecessary war, and Prabhupada has said here about war. And war weapons, and war brings no peace to the society. It brings hatred, and it brings, for example, when Russia invaded Ukraine, would you say, since then it's still not peaceful. It could ruin the peace. There's no peace there. There's people dying, misery, there are people grieving, people are crying because of death. So war is like a really, really hurting thing, because war can create so much misery, and it can happen so fast. We've had World War I, World War II, Civil War, Revolutionary War. We've had so many wars, the Vietnam War. There's so many wars, and some of these wars, nothing even happened at the end of it. There was no outcome. It was just many people died for no reason. So it's just the modern day demons, although, like I said, we won't have a monster with one eye come out of nowhere, but we do have these modern day demons who are making this age of Kali come true even more. Like, they're making Kali, right now we're in a golden period, but just imagine, these many things are happening bad right now, so just imagine what will happen in the future of the age of Kali. So, yeah. And so in this last section right here, it says, in such a situation, the personality of Godhead incarnates to vanquish the unwanted asuras and to reestablish the true principles of religion. This was the mission of Lord Shri Krishna, and he fulfilled it. So we all know the verse, Yada yada yadasya advanir bhavti bharata taditana dharmasya shuddaratvanam shujamyaham. So we all know this verse where Krishna comes to annihilate the miscreants and save his devotees. Like the Dash Avatar, Nrsimhadev, he came to save Prahlad Maharaj and save actually all the demigods too, because all the demigods were suffering too. And he killed Hiranyakashipu. Varahadev, Lord Varahadev, I don't remember the demon's name. He killed him, but he saved Mother Earth. Hiranyaksh, yes. Hiranyaksh. So he killed Hiranyaksh, but he saved Mother Earth, because Mother Earth is his devotee. Next, Lord Ram. Ravan was doing many bad things, and then when he stole Sita, Ram was like, I'm done, we're going to kill him. So he killed him. So he was saving his devotees, and he was killing the demons. And then Krishna killed so many demons. Bhutana, Kamsa, all of them. He killed all these demons just in a young age. And then when he grew up, he killed more demons. He helped Arjuna in the Mahabharata. He didn't kill anyone in the Mahabharata, but he helped Arjuna with the Bhagavad Gita. And also, let's bring back to power of words. So power of words, when Hitler was using power of words, that was in a very bad way. Very, very bad. But sometimes the power of words can affect people in a good way. Like the Bhagavad Gita, Song of God, Krishna's words are a million, actually infinity times more powerful than anyone else's words. So just imagine if everyone in this world read Bhagavad Gita, how powerful it would be, how it would change people. I mean, Bhagavad Gita changed me too. I mean, this whole notebook is about chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And it has changed me so much. I mean, I'm giving examples from it. I just love this book too, and I love Bhagavad Gita because not only does it help you in your spiritual life, it helps with the material life. So I just really like that concept of the song of God or the power of Krishna's words. So, okay, next verse. Okay. Gava saheta viraham purushottamasya Premavalokaruchirasmitavalkujalpe Stiryam samanamaharan madhumaninam Ramotsavo mamayad ankrivitam kitaya.
Avasaheta viraham purushottamasya Premavalokaruchirasmitavalkujalpe Saryam samanam adhaharan madhumaninam Romotsavo mamayat angri vitankitaya.
Okay. Translation. Who therefore can tolerate the pangs of separation from that Supreme Personality of Godhead? He could conquer the gravity and passionate wrath of his sweethearts like Satyabhama by his sweet smile of love, pleasing glance, and hearty appeals. When he traversed my earth's surface, I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet, and thus would be sumptuously covered with grass which appeared like hair standing on me out of my pleasure. Purport. There were chances of separation between the Lord and his thousands of queens because of the Lord's being absent from home. But as far as his connection with earth was concerned, the Lord would traverse the earth with his lotus feet, and therefore there was no chance of separation. When the Lord left the surface of the earth to return to his spiritual abode, the earth's feelings of separation were therefore more acute. So, in this translation, Mother Earth is saying how Krishna, he was with me. He was always, his lotus feet was touching my, the earth, basically touching me. And I was so happy because, Krishna is either running in Vrindavan with his coward boys, or he's fighting. He didn't really fight, but he was with Arjuna in the Battle of Kurukshetra. Wherever he was placing his lotus feet on Mother Earth. And therefore, she was so attached with him. She became so attached with him. But then, when it was his time to leave, her separation was even more. Like, it was really bad because she spent so much time with Krishna, and when he left, she was so sad. So, like, for example, you've spent your whole life with your parents, right? Or let's say you meet some person, like, I don't know, I mean, maybe you're like friends with someone, and your friend moves. So you'll obviously feel sad because, you know, you maybe known them for 4, 5 years, but let's say your parents have to move. For example, like they just have to move, or like you grow up and they have to move, or they go to India or something. Then your feeling of separation will be super strong because you've spent more time with them, you've grown up with them. So the separation will be stronger, and the feeling of sadness will be also stronger. So yeah. So what I want to talk about here is separation from Krishna. So as you can, these verses are kind of describing like the sadness of Krishna. But basically, it's describing the sadness of having Krishna leave them. So they feel sad. They feel not betrayed, but they feel betrayed, because Krishna had to leave. But like I said, he's always here. So I feel like ISKCON, or like devotees, we're like, you've probably heard of this analogy, but we're like I don't want to, not in a rude way, but like, we're like a gangster group, you know? If you come in, you won't be able to go out because you know too much. So, like, for example, if a devotee tries, like, oh my god, I'm done with this, I can't do this, I'm gonna go home, I'm going to eat whatever I want, do whatever I want, no more chanting for me. But then, you'll be like, I can't do this. I mean, I can't do this. Like, I can't live without Krishna because we know too much. We already know. We know that we're not this body. We know that if we don't chant, then we're gonna have to come back to this life, and we're gonna have to do everything again. We're gonna have to be born. You know, that pain. We don't remember that pain, but it's very painful. It was actually in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It stated the process of how a baby comes. It's very painful for the baby, and then we're gonna have to grow up again, we're gonna have to learn to walk again, we're gonna have to go to school again, we're gonna have to graduate again, we're gonna have to go through so much pain again, and then we're gonna just die and do it all again. So I mean, you know too much and you don't want to leave. So, for example, if a person is very much attached to their deities, so as you do deity worship, you know we're all attached to our little Sri Radha Radhar. So you get really attached to them, and when you leave them, or like not they won't leave you, but when you leave them, when you have to go home, you feel so sad. You're like, oh, I really wish we could be there for more. Or you get really attached to deities, because deity worship is perfect for people who want to do material activities. So because a deity, you can treat them, they are Krishna right there, so you treat them like Krishna. So it's I don't know, I can't find the words, but it really helps when material desires are like around you, or Maya is around you. So you get so attached to Krishna that you don't want to leave him. And he will never leave you, but you don't want to leave him either. So over here, and then when you do have to leave him, you feel sad, you feel separated. So that's why we're all separated from Krishna. We're not supposed to be here. We're supposed to be with Krishna. But due to our false intelligence, we think, oh, I want to be independent, I want to have fun. Krishna sends us here to learn our lesson that this isn't fun. This is false fun. Because have you ever noticed, like for example, I'll be studying all week for this one test. I'll get a good grade on it, and then I'll have to study for some other test. Like, it's just short, like your material desires, it gives you short amount of happiness. It won't fulfill your happiness. For example, I might get a good phone, but then the next month a new phone comes out and now I want that phone. So, or I might get a good car, but then another better car comes and I'm like, oh, I want that car. Or I might buy clothes, but then more clothes restock and I'm like, oh, I want those clothes. So your happiness is momentarily, It's false happiness and it's momentarily and it never stays. So there's no point of trying to be happy in this world when you can be eternally happy in Goloka with Krishna. You know, you're gonna be running with Krishna. You're gonna be having fun with Krishna. You're not gonna have you're not gonna die. You're not gonna have old age. You're not gonna have disease. What's the third one? Birth. Yeah, you won't have to face the pain from being born. You'll just be there and you'll be with Krishna. So, like for example, right now, a lot of people, like for COVID, a lot of people suffered from COVID-19, right? And that was so much suffering, misery, and really that's like the truth. Like, age of Kali, this will happen, you know? Disease will come, like cancer, like I said, COVID-19, but we can't do anything about it because it's our karma. If we get it, it's our karma. We will all die. Some people, I don't know why, but they try to preserve their body. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but some people, they're trying to live longer. So when they're about to die, they want scientists to freeze their body so that they somehow live, which I don't understand how that's going to work, but I'll just let you know it won't work. So you can't, I love how Srila Prabhupada, he always says, you can't bribe death, you can't enhance him, you can't enchant, not enhance, you can't enchant death with your beauty. You can't, like I said, bribe, you can't like impress him with your knowledge. He'll just come take you away. Like, he's not gonna wait. If it's your time, then it's your time. And that time can happen anywhere. Therefore, we need to stay with Krishna. And yeah, so, okay, last verse. Tayor evam katayato priti vidharmayostada parikshit nama rajarshi prapta prachin saraswatim.
Tayorevam kathayato prithvi dharmayostada parikshit nama rajarshi prapta prachin saraswatim. Translation. While the earth and the personality of religion were thus engaged in conversation, the saintly King Parikshit reached the shore of the Saraswati River, which flowed towards the east. So I don't really know what to say for this, but the purport, thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the first canto, 16th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled How Parikshit Received the Age of Kali. So now we conclude. I didn't really have anything to talk about this one because there was no purport, but if anyone has any realizations, comments, questions, you can ask questions, but maybe one of you guys can answer too, because I don't know, I'm not sure if I will be able to answer, but yeah, so if anyone, it's open mic. So. You should have started with the disclaimer that all the questions will be answered by Rasika.
Oh, okay, so Alankar Prabhu has just now stated that all questions will be answered by Hare Krishna Prabhu. So, okay. So, does anyone want to say anything?
No, you can keep it.
Oh, okay.
But what a fantastic class! Thank you so much, Ishika. So many good points and so many realizations that you have. And at your age, it's so shocking. It's so shocking for Maya. I'm sure that at this age people are getting ready to change the world. So it's just mind blowing. So thank you so much for taking this service of serving Srimad Bhagavatam. You're talking about services, right? That there are so many ways to serve. So Prahlad Maharaj has given 9 ways to serve. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam.
I have where's my back? I have my nectar of instruction. This is like. These 2 notebooks are like my life, you know. They have all the gyan, not all the gyan, but they have most of the main points. So, oh wait, no, that's another book. Never mind. But yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So did Gopi Gita make you do that, or is it your own?
No, this is Gopi Gita Mataji. So
you make it personally the way you studied.
So yeah, basically she's in Texas, so she made a Google Classroom, And in the Google Classroom, she puts these like pages and you cut it out and you color it. So it's pretty
She
cool.
makes them do it.
Okay.
They did it themselves.
But yeah, I mean,
So it's a material through her course.
yeah,
It's not
it's,
that you did
it's,
by yourself.
it's like homework, you know?
Okay.
For other Bhakti Shakti courses, you have to like make notes or you have to just read. But for ours, we make these and then we also post a video on Flipgrid so that she can see it. So yeah.
And other points I was thinking were, so one point you made which I really like about the power of sound. You gave a very nice example of Hitler versus Krishna.
Yeah.
And in the first verse about how this material world, which is because of the demons, how all the problems are coming in the society. And Prabhupada says asuric means. So you gave a very nice example of there are different types of asuras,
Yeah.
right? And monsters with one eye and all that. But Prabhupada also says that in Kali Yuga, who are the most asuric people?
Internal demons, right? Like I was going to ask about that.
What is it?
It's the demons within us, right?
Well, Prabhupada says no, impersonalists.
Impersonal.
Oh
Impersonalists
yes,
are the-
atheistic or not atheists but impersonal.
Impersonalists, Mayavadis.
Mayavadis.
So they are the biggest rascal. Prabhupada says like them Mudas and Naradamas.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So because why is that so? Because at least atheists are saying, they are out because of lack of knowledge. They are like, okay, sometimes you're driving and you don't know how to drive and you are in accident. So at least they will have some, they will have some leeway there. But for those who know how to drive and still they get into an accident, so that means you are at big fault. So that's what Prabhupada says that when someone is impersonalist, that means they know the personality of Godhead, but still they are rejecting his form. So that is the biggest rascal in the society.
Yes.
So I was thinking of
That's a
that
good one,
as
yeah.
well. In this society, those are, and most, either our current leaders, Prabhupada says the king, but that means our rulers, of the country, president or whatever, ministers. So they are either atheistics or they are Mayavadis.
Yeah.
They're that. And because of that, there are so many problems that's created. And I really like the point that you made about, once you are in ISKCON, you come on your terms, but you are out on Krishna's terms.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people, they live ISKCON. Yeah, they live ISKCON, but Krishna, they don't, he doesn't.
Yeah.
So, and at the same time, Prem Singh Prabhu just a couple of days ago on his Skype call, he brought this up that now, okay, you left ISKCON, but say you are still practicing bhakti. Is that okay?
I mean, I feel like you won't be able to practice bhakti as well if you leave ISKCON, because ISKCON you also need devotee association. So I feel like devotee association is really important, but I'm not sure the answer. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, devotee association is most important. Without that, it becomes tasteless in bhakti.
Yeah.
Bhakti will become tasteless. The taste comes only with devotion. With devotees, and that's how you're gonna, go up and up.
Yeah. Now, before I got associated a lot of knowledge or learning about this, one of the spiritual masters in ISKCON, they told me this, right? Like, you are not pledging allegiance to ISKCON, you are pledging allegiance to Krishna. No matter what, you have to be Krishna conscious, bringer of the ISKCON is an organization, it's facilitating, but you have to be by heart, you have to be focused on Krishna. And obviously, all the advantages of coming through ISKCON is the association that keeps you steady, right? So that is there. Different opinions, I guess.
Yeah. I agree with that too. Yeah. No matter what, you should always practice bhakti. But I'll just say that probably be harder because of no devotee association.
One point on that is Prabhupada's instruction is there not to leave ISKCON, and if we follow the instructions of pure devotees, then you are all set.
Yeah.
And Prem Sindhu Prabhu's example was that you are in the ocean, right? And there are so many lifeguards, so many, and then there is the one which is the most structured, where you have all the lifeboats, life jackets, and all kinds of experienced people. So that is what ISKCON is. Yeah. And it accommodates all kinds of people. at all levels and doesn't have any bias for anybody. Like imagine, what is our qualification? And we are now wearing tilak, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Right.
So that is that potency that Prabhupada brought. So that
Because being in a human form of life is very hard, and then getting the mercy of Krishna is even harder to get. I mean, most people don't get it, so we're very mercy. We have gotten a lot of mercy from Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. So.
One
Yeah.
comment, right? Like you are young by age, but you are very advanced. So my question would be, so you said for devotees, Krishna is not lost, right? They can see it. Mother Earth is a devotee.
Yeah.
She is a better half of Krishna, right? So why is she feeling separation? Why is she not seeing Krishna?
Okay, so what I would say is, I feel like it's like a bhav, I would say. I mean, because like Radharani, she knows that Krishna is always everywhere. She's most advanced, but she also felt separation from Krishna. So I feel like it's like a loving bhav of devotees to feel that separation. But I mean, she does know that Krishna is everywhere, but it's just that bhav. Like, so yeah, I would say that, but I don't know if that's the right answer, so you can answer Papa or yeah.
Ramkirtan.
Kirtan Prabhu is here.
But that separation, yeah. So I think these are all leelas, like and,
Plan.
yeah,
Krishna's
like,
plan.
these are all pastimes, like and when Krishna left the earth and all those things, so that pastime and so ultimately it's all manifestations of Krishna only. They are not different. They are all manifestations of Lord. So I'll just take unless Sri Krishna Prabhupada answered to it, they are teacher on this point.
Yeah, I mean, I just know only that this is the highest bhav, the separation from Brahma bhav, and the actually in the past times where queens of Dwarka, they all actually when there is a pastime in the and at the end of the 10th canto, which says when they are together, all the queens, and Krishna is with them. But at the same time, when they are together, they still was feeling separation. So they still enjoy that highest mood. So they just want to relish this feeling, no matter what.
Yeah, then Uddhava comes and Uddhava tells them that how you should not cry. Yes, the separation, it's a great feeling, but this is what you should do. You should do kirtan and also immerse in his pastime activities. Just think about his. So that's how they actually deviated, diverted their separation bhav to and put their redirected their energy to this one, and that's how they enjoyed that. So yeah, that's how it's the separation bhav. It's one of the topmost bhav, as you said, all the gopis feel that and they love that. They love that. But in this case, I think it's more of a personal touch, right? That's what In one way, we can also say it's kind of maya. We know that Lord is here. It's like we know deity is here. Just imagine if it starts moving and comes and touches me. I would never be able to forget that. I see this deities every day I see Radha Nakpur. But if they at all touch me, I'll never be able to forget that. And same thing is happening with Prithvi Mata as well, Gau Mata. That she has felt this. Now she just cannot. She wants to focus on that. He's everywhere, but she wants that personal touch, and that's what she's lamenting.
Yeah,
That's what she's the separation.
Pure devotees always come for the service.
Yes.
They don't want the physical association. They always can give
Right.
the
That's
the
also the mood of
separation.
the Goswamis, right?
Yeah.
The Sad Goswami asked them, he asked, where is Krishna? He didn't say, I met Krishna, this thing, like that. But yeah, what is that? Krishna Kuto, or he comes, right? So that's the mood of the Goswamis itself. So where are we?
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, from practical standpoint, at least I can say for myself, I'm not at that Vipralambha stage where of separation, or not even that, okay, I have to serve, that's why I'm here. But from practical standpoint, what I understand from this is that why devotees are in the position of separation from Krishna, because Arjuna also just last chapter, 15th chapter, we read that how Krishna left. Yudhishthira Maharaj is seeing all the bad omens, and Arjuna came with the pale face. And he said that, oh, same Gandhi, same Rath, everything same, but I could not defeat this this young, Gwalas. I got defeated. So that is also Krishna sometimes shows by these examples that this material world is not where we belong.
Not good. Right.
Yeah.
And even no matter how pure you are, you will also find all kinds of sufferings and all kinds of problems. So through them, we can learn that this is not where we should stay longer. Because if Arjuna can get all these problems, if Mother Earth can get all these problems, who we are?
Actually, that is their service. They are by their service. They are showing, they are suffering for our sake and showing us the example. So that's a devotional service. That if somebody is chanting for devotional service, that is the kind of devotional service one has to go to that platform.
So other day I was hearing one, like Mataji was telling, or Maharaj, Srila Maharaj gave a discourse. So in that you will notice this, like every page, this is being talked about. This material miseries, as you said, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Every page you see any purport, anything, the first thing Prabhupada was talks about this. So somebody asked Maharaj, like, what is this? Why do they portray this kind of scenario about the material world and all? Why don't there so many other nice pastimes are there of Krishna, right? If you go to Canto 10, no, that's fine.
No, it's okay.
You are making
so I will have to get the. Thank you. So Rajeshka Mataji was telling me about, I am yet to hear the discourse by His Holiness Sravanam Maharaj. So this question was asked to Maharaj. So every purport, every this thing, everywhere they talk about this material miseries, right? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, and they are painting like this is, don't have any expectations of this world and all those things. Why is that? Why are we not talking about like good pastimes, right? So Krishna had so many other nice pastimes, we are not talking about that. And neither we are even interested to read those pastimes, right? We are not, so as if somebody literally has to drag us, then only we start even opening those pastimes. So why is that? So Maharaj gave a very nice answer. You know what Maharaj is saying? Maharaj is saying is our mind has become so polluted from so many births. So as you are rightly saying that jaundice and all this is exactly what has happened. The mind is completely diseased. It doesn't even want to go that side. No, it doesn't want to. So it has to be first purified. And what is that purification? Unless you know about this material world, as he was rightly pointing out. Unless you know about this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, you will never even come out of this material world. You will always be, as she was again and again pointing out that point, right? You will be going in that circle again and again. So this is very important to understand. First this Vairagya has to come. Then only it will lead you to the rasa and all those things. So those are much higher this thing. This is a very nice point. I like that what Maharaj has mentioned.
And also Srila Prabhupada also, if you see all his classes, all his lectures, all his conversations, he never talks about rasas, Radha, Krishna, Rasa Leela, never. Because he knows that those things are good, but they are not necessary. Because
they are higher stage.
At our stage, at the very if the fundamental is not then what are we going to do with the Radha Krishna? So if we see, so Prabhupada says this, unless you are convinced that this material world is the place of misery, you will not get the taste in chanting.
And thank you for the amazing class. Like I was listening on that, I got late. Sorry about that. So, but I know you told all your questions will be answered by Rasi Krishna. But I want to ask a question which only you can answer. So it's like it's a little bit a personal question in the sense like
I wanted to understand what attracted you towards Krishna consciousness. Because at your age, I know what so many people are doing and what they are doing. What is at this age? That is one first part of the question. Second part of the question is, how do we do this to more people of your age? How do we preach this? How do we make them interested? What do you feel? Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, you can give your own thoughts, so nothing to worry.
Yeah. So I actually gave not a class, but I gave a presentation on this
Oh, perfect.
to
Our
dinner appreciation thing. Yeah. So I would say there are three main components, and I'll target it short. I mean that class was kind of long, so.
Sure.
So first of all, it's my passions. If one thing my Mataji has taught me, it's that you can do anything for Krishna. It is stated in chapter 5 of the Gita that karma, action can be used for Krishna. So my passions, I love to dance, I love to sing. When I was younger, I loved Barbies, so I loved dressing up them. But I love dressing up, I love, like accessorizing. And I love making jewelry. So you can use that stuff in Krishna's service. So I dance for Krishna on Janmashtami and Ananda Bhumi Puja.
just for others, you can also mention your age.
Oh yeah, I'm 13 by the way. I dance for Krishna, I dance for Krishna bhajans. Then for singing, I sing kirtan, I sing the Hare. I actually made the garlands with my mom today, so I love garlands. They're just, after garlands, I feel so peaceful, because, it's just amazing. So I have DTs, we have Radha Krishna DTs, so we dress them up. We do arti and all, so it's very nice. The passions, and for example, some people, a lot of people actually, they love art, they love drawing, they love coloring. I love that too, but it's not my main passion. But you can always draw for Krishna. You can, in the basement, most of you have gone, they painted the beautiful, painting they painted it on the wall. It was gorgeous. You can do services like that. Some people like to clean, actually, so you can clean for Krishna. Some people, I don't know, everyone has different interests, so you can use that interest for Krishna service. My second thing are devotees. Devotees are very inspiring, especially at the temple. So devotees inspire me actually. I look up to them, I see what they're doing, and I'm like, oh wow, that's very nice. I will also try to do, I can't do the same obviously because they're super elevated, but I will try and follow their footsteps. So, Maharajas, Matajis over here helping me with the garland service and all. And just everyone in the temple just, super, they have so much affection for Krishna, so I'm like, wow, that's so inspiring. And my parents, obviously, because, they're the ones that basically gave me Krishna consciousness, I wouldn't be here without them. For real. So, I wouldn't be here, honestly, I wouldn't be here, because, they're the ones who,
Literally.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So, yeah. And then finally, it's Krishna himself. So, honestly, if you feel like no one loves you, well, that's a lie, because Krishna always loves you. So, Krishna is someone who is always there for you. He'll always be there for you. You can say anything to him because he's everywhere. He's in my mind. He's over there. He's over there. He's in, when I say Krishna, he's right there. So he's everywhere, and he's like my best friend basically. He's just he's a supportive friend, and he'll listen to you. He'll hear when you have a problem in your life. He'll be there to listen to you, guide you, help you, and all that. So those are the three things that inspire me. And what was the second question?
How do we make more people that
I would say by having amazing classes like these ones that I got from Gopi Gita Mataji.
Okay.
I will not lie, before I joined Gopi Gita Mataji's classes, I did not know a lot about philosophy. I just knew, Radha Krishna, lovers, their God, love them, you know, that's kind of it. I didn't know that, I knew, but like, I didn't know the depth. Like, I knew, okay, we're not this body, we're the soul. But I didn't know the depth. And then the way she did it, she taught it in a way that teenagers would understand. For example, she made a spiritual concept and a material concept. For example, the spiritual concept was that we are the spirit soul, we're not this body, so we shouldn't be focused on, we should leave this world to go to Krishna because we're not this body. So we don't belong here. We're outcasts, basically. But material way you can take this is a lot of teenagers feel insecure about themselves. They feel like, oh, I'm too big, I'm too small, I'm too short, I'm too big, I'm too tall, I don't look good enough, I look overdressed, I look underdressed. So like a lot of people, they suffer from insecurities, not only girls, guys too. So I feel like, but since this concept of Krishna consciousness, if we are the soul, then why should we matter what our material body looks like? I mean, this body, it's made out of earth, water, air, ether, fire. I mean, it's all this, you know, it's flesh, it's skin, it's bones. Why should we matter what it looks like?
You said it in very polite and gentle way. Prabhupada says, you know how? This
How?
body is person's stool.
Oh, that's, wow, yeah, that's actually true though.
On the other hand, also we need to understand this body is the one which makes us do devotional service.
Exactly. So,
It's both ways. Like
yeah, so what we shouldn't be focused on trying to make ourselves look good, like, oh, I'm gonna spend 5 hours on making myself look good so I don't. But like Krishna loves us anyway. He doesn't matter how we look. He doesn't matter who we are, any race, any gender, anything. Like, he doesn't matter. He still loves us, you know, for who we are, and we shouldn't care much about what we look like. We should just care about serving Krishna, like you said, with this body. So, like I said, what I feel like to spread this is preaching in a way that teenagers understand. I will say that sometimes when I listen to other people teach or preach, when I was younger, I used to get very confused because like I didn't really understand what they meant. If you understand, like, you know, because like I was little, younger. So, but the way she taught it was, like I said, she taught it in a simple way, in a visual way. Visual. I don't know if I'm the only one here, but I learn visually. I can't learn just by someone reading to me from a textbook or something. So that's why these pages from these books, they really help.
Very nice.
And so yeah, so that's how I feel like we can spread this
So,
message.
like, if you get an opportunity to do seminars or something like that, you are like, so I'm just saying, like, other children of the same age.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and we always have our Short Prabhu, who's also amazing at giving classes
Summer,
too.
we
So.
should see.
Yeah.
Summer, the kids are a little free.
Yeah.
If you can do a seminar.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
On a regular basis.
Yeah, on a regular basis. You know.
Because I do know some people who are interested in her classes, so, but I'm not sure when she's opening the next batch, so I'll have to see for that. So yeah, anyone else, comments,
He's
questions?
saying you do some of
Yeah,
Oh, me,
yeah.
I know, yeah. So, yeah, okay.
Because that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. Jivan sarthak kari, karo paropkar.
Yes.
First you perfect your life, then it's not an optional thing, it's your duty.
Yeah.
It's an instruction. You're obligated to now help others.
Yeah,
So,
that's nice.
Grasa Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Bhaktin Ishika.
Jai.